Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is for you. Welcome back to another Division 2 video. My name is Prime and today I'm gonna show you how to prepare for TU20 and Project Resolve, the up and coming update, and a lot is gonna change in the game. I'm gonna show you how to get the exotic components, everything farmed, the materials, the weapons that you need to grind for, the new gear sets and the new brand sets coming, and of course the old brand sets and gear sets getting a buff. There is a lot to talk about, so without further ado, let's dive right in and let me show you how to prepare for TU20. As we all know, TU20 is around the corner and a lot of things are going to change. Not only new additions, but also a few brand sets, gear sets and weapons are getting a buff or a change to their brand set bonuses, or of course a buff to their weapon damages. And there are a lot of things to look out for. So let's start with the thing that you want to grind for first, and those are materials and all kinds of materials. You can farm a bunch of normal materials, of course, in the open world while taking people out, while farming a little bit of caches and all of that good stuff, but hands down the best way to get your materials up to par is running another character through New York. If you don't know what that is yet, we call it a watch mule, and that is just running an extra character through the DLC Warlords of New York. And why are people doing this? Because if you complete a new character of Warlords of New York, everything on your watch will be on that new character as well if you buy the share blueprint from Anaya next to the crafting bench. This will guarantee you a lot of materials, especially if you're a little bit higher up in the SHD levels. And in my humble opinion, I wouldn't start a character if you underneath 1500 or even 2000 SHD points. And why? Because every time that you run a new character through New York, 800 points will be subtracted of your total points, because you have to put that into your watch itself. Like the weapon damages, the armor, the weapon handling, the skill haste, the skill repair, and you name it, every single thing that is in the game, you need to buff that up. That's from the base stats of your watch. So for example, if you have 1000 SHD points, you will only get 200 scavenging points. And that's what we're doing it for. We're doing it for the scavenging points, because the scavenging points let you choose the materials that you want to get. And that will be shared over all your characters, again, if you buy that shared blueprint from Anaya. And that's why you need to go for a watch mule. And then, like I said, you want to grind this new character if you are at least 1500 or 2000 SHD, because that minus 800 points. So if you are 1500, you will receive 700 points. And if you are SHD level 2000, you will get 1200 points. And then it makes it worth it, because it can take up around 2 to 3 hours if you play it solo, and if you get some help from friends, you can do it in an hour and a half. That's the fastest time that we did it, so probably it will take you like 2 hours with a group if you just running through there on a normal pace, or around 3 to maybe 4 hours if you play it solo. And that's why I would recommend only doing this if you are level 1500 or minimum of 2000 SHD points, because else it's not really worth going for that extra scavenging points. And then of course we got the other material that everybody and their mom is looking for, and those are exotic components, the exotic materials whenever you deconstruct an exotic item. We can farm for a lot of exotic components, and there are a lot of ways to farm for it. Hands down, the best way is to go into DZ level 30. Yes, I'm not gonna explain the whole route, and I'm not gonna explain especially how to do it, but get your character to level 30. You can boost a new character to level 30. Don't boost it to level 40, but if you boost your character to level 30, you can then go into the DZs of level 30. Most people are on level 40, so the level 30 DZs are pretty empty. So then you can start farming those DZ caches. Within the DZ caches, you have 25% to get an exotic component to drop, and you can get up to 10 to 15 exotic components an hour if you're just playing it laid back. You can probably get a lot more, but you can at least get 10 to 15 exotic components per hour. But like I said, I'm not gonna dive into the full video. I have a video about that. I will leave it on the screen right now. Check it out after this video, how to farm those exotic components quickly and very, very fast. If you don't want to do that, then I would say that Countdown is hands down the best way to do it in the PvE. We all know Countdown is a game mode, it's the loot piñata of the game. So if you want any loot, if you want any stuff to farm, hands down go for the Countdown, because of course those hunters are in there. The hunters are the toughest enemy archetype within the game, and they have the highest chance to drop you better gear and therefore drop you some exotics as well. Just test it out a little bit, what you can do with your targeted loot and what will work for you. So for example, for me, it works to choose for handguns and here and there ARs as well. Last week I found a lot of St. Elmos, but this week I didn't find anything, and then I focused on some pistols and or SMGs again, because those are the ones that drop for me. So you need to test your own RNG out a little bit, bless RNGs or get your ass to Lucifer to make sure that you get those exotics, and then of course deconstruct them if they are not better than your current exotic. Make sure to check that out, deconstruct them, and you will get that exotic component. Next to that, of course, Countdown will give you those Countdown requisition points as well. So if you're not lucky enough to get an exotic to drop, you can then spend your Countdown requisition points at the Countdown shop to buy yourself exotic caches. And you can already buy an exotic cache if you only play 2 challenging Countdowns. It goes pretty damn fast. You can do that in like, let's say 30 to 40 minutes. You cleared 2 Countdowns. It depends on the team how fast you can do it. And then you can buy an exotic cache. But wait, keep the exotic caches. And you think like, why, Prime? You're just talking about exotic components that we need to stack up for exotic components. You're absolutely right, but there is going to be another update for TU20, and every single exotic weapon in the game will now be reconfigurable for a random third attribute. Everybody and their mom is gonna look for damage to target out of cover. So that's exactly the same that we got from the past few seasons with, for example, the St. Elmos. We all know you get that with a random third attribute. You can reconfigure the exotic, and that will give you a random third bonus. And that's why I'm saying keep your exotic caches, because after the update, if you open up those exotic caches, there is a chance that your favorite exotic or the exotic that you want to farm for already drops with that damage to target out of cover. So that will save you an extra exotic component to reconfigure one of your existing exotics to get that third attribute that you want. So make sure to stack up on exotic caches. Don't open them yet. Of course, if you're full with 20 exotic caches, you have to open them. But if you can keep them, keep them. Because that is another way to give you a chance to not spend your exotic components on reconfigurating. And of course, it's RNG. It's a chance. There are so many exotics in the game. Also gear that can drop from those exotic caches. But if you're opening now, it will be guaranteed an exotic component. But if you open it after the update, it can give you the right one that you're looking for. And if not, it will still give you an exotic component. So you're not losing anything versus opening now to after the update. It can only be better for you. So that's why I would say grind those exotic caches. You can even go for golden bullet right now that it's in the game. You can of course grind those event stars. With those event stars you can buy some exotic caches as well. It will set you back 20 event stars to buy that one, and just go over all of the challenges that you have to do. Those are easy stars, and of course every time that you rank up with your SHD level you will gain 1 star per level. So now we're on the topic of exotic components and of course all the materials that you want to stack up to. Why are we doing this? This is going to be for your expertise system. And you're thinking like, why Prime? It's so incredibly expensive to go into the expertise system. And you're kinda right, but wait, TU20 will give us a huge discount on the expertise system. So do not, I repeat, do not use your expertise system right now. Yes, you can get your weapons or your gear or your skills to proficient level. So you can donate some materials, you can donate some duplicates if you want to, but do not give them extra armor, extra weapon damage. Do not upgrade them into an expertise rank because, like I said, it's gonna be a lot cheaper. And talking about a lot cheaper, look at this. And if we focus only on the exotic components, that's already a difference from almost 90 exotic components if you go from level 11 all the way up to level 24 expertise. Now in the game it sets you back around 130 exotic components, and when the update drops, TU20 Project Resolve, hopefully next week, it will set you back around 40 exotic components. So that's such a big difference, and that's why I'm telling you right now, do not use the expertise system. You will lose so many materials that you will not get back. So again, do not use that expertise system because it's going to be a lot cheaper. And then, like every season, we of course will get our new gear, our new talents, and of course our new exotic items. I'm gonna be very straight with you, I'm gonna be very honest with you. There is only one exotic that you kinda wanna look out for, and this one is locked behind the Descent game mode. Don't be mad, don't be mad. I know not many people play the Descent, but I think this is a great thing because, my humble opinion, the exotic items in the game should be the best in the game, and then you should work for it and not just getting it on the reward track. What will probably happen with the other two exotics, but the exotic that we're talking about right now is the Vindicator, the new exotic rifle coming to the game, and this will be locked behind the Descent game mode. You have to have 350 NSA points from the Descent game mode to buy the Vindicator within the NSA vendor. These numbers are from the PTS, so there are still things subject to change, but I think they will leave it around these points. So what you want to do now is grind that Descent. I know you might not like it, but try to get towards that nemesis, try to defeat that nemesis, and then start over again. We've tested out a bunch of different tactics within the Descent. A friend of mine, Notorious Fox, went all the way up to level 35, and then he hit around 400 NSA points. And we tried to do something else. We tried to get to that nemesis, then stop and run to it again. If you run to that nemesis 3 to 3.5 times, you have 350 NSA points and you instantly can buy that new rifle, the Vindicator, when the new update drops. I know it's gonna be a little bit of a grind, but it's gonna set you back around 2.5 to 3 hours to get those materials. You can of course also run all the way up to the higher levels. It depends on what you like to play. But for me, it's a little bit easier and faster to get towards that nemesis to 3.5 times. So the fourth time that you play it, you only have to play up to, let's say, loop 3. And then you will have enough points. It will always be on the right side on your screen what the descent currency is, what you can use in the descent for that gameplay loop, or those NSA points that you can use outside of the descent to boost up some of your base stats, or of course now to buy that Vindicator. So that's another tip for you. Try to get at least 350 NSA points to buy that Vindicator. If you want to buy everything that's gonna be new, then you have to grind a little bit longer, because we also will get 4 different outfits from the descent, all different colors, and on the PTS that sets you back around 1600 NSA points. So to get those 4 outfits, you need to get around 6,500 NSA points to buy them all, and then with that Vindicator you are around 7,000 NSA points to need it to buy everything that will be new with TU20. But for now, I would only focus on 350 so you can buy that Vindicator whenever TU20 and Project Resolve goes live. And now we're on the topic of course, TU20 and all the new gear, the new weapons and the new exotics coming to the game. There are a few brand set bonuses that are going to change as well. So you want to keep an eye out on certain brand set pieces. Of course, we will get some new gear as well, but that's all for TU20. We can farm that then. Go for countdown, believe me, loot pinata of the game. But the brand sets and the gear sets that we have right now in the game are going to change as well. And I will go for Golden and Gilligard because those will get a boost into their armor generation. Armor generation builds are gonna be a lot of fun to play with TU20. I know they already kind of reverted a few changes for the armor generation, because in phase 1 it was too strong, and now after phase 2 they changed the Golem and the Gilligard again, but still it will be a boost in your armor generation. So I will look out for those 2 brand sets, and if you are straight up PvP, I would look into system corruption. And why? Because that instant medkit will come to the game, and system corruption can give you an unlimited use of your medkits. And those are the 3 brand sets and or gear sets that I will look out for. The rest will get a boost as well, but we need to find out what will be good. For now, we kind of brainstormed and there are not many changes into the air quote meta builds that we have right now, except for armor generation. That's gonna change a little bit. And then of course for the last thing before I leave you for today, and those are the weapons that will be upgraded with TU20 and Project Resolve, and what you want to look out for. There are a few small changes in the meta, especially for the ARs, for the LMGs and for the marksman rifles. The rest kind of stays the same. So for ARs you want to focus on the exotic Bighorn, you want to focus on the exotic EB, you want to focus on the normal weapons, the FAMAS and the F2000, and of course its named variant, the Shield Splinter, and just a shout out to the G36 as well, as that will get a significant change, but it's a little bit harder to control, so it's all the way up to you. But go for the FAMAS, the F2000, the EB and the Bighorn for those ARs. And then jumping over to the LMGs, for the exotics you want to look out for the Bullet King and for the Iron Lung, and for the normal weapons, the high-end weapons, you want to look out for the L86 and the RPK. Those 4 weapons will get a huge boost and will be on the new meta on side of the LMG builds. And then for our last one, and those are the MMRs, and that will be the M700. The M700 will be very, very interesting, of course. That M700 Carbon comes with a named variant, but you want to focus on the normal M700. For the SMGs, it's still the same. It's still the Vector and the Ouroboros. For the shotguns, it's still the same, although the Scorpio could be very, very powerful with damage to target out of cover rolled on there. Like I explained, that third attribute can be different after TU20. And that's pretty much it. Pistols stay the same as well with the Regulus and the D50. And the rifles stay the same as well. But that's pretty much it. A little bit longer video today, but I want you to know every single detail. I want you to know how to prepare yourself for TU20 and Project Resolve. And I think I hit almost every single aspect what you want to focus on. If I did miss anything or you have some tips for us, our community, hit me up in the comments down below. I would love to know how you are preparing for TU20, but these are my tips. That's pretty much it. Thank you very much for sticking until the end. If you're still here, you are a freaking legend. Make sure to like this video if you liked the video or helped you out in any way or form. And of course, if you're new here and you want to be updated about the Division 2, the Division universe and the future Division 3, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. And I will see you in the next one. PurePrime